event is conducting here in Zagreb. Zagreb Airport is the biggest airport in the Republic of Croatia in terms of passengers numbers. After opening the new passenger terminal in 2017, we started a new phase of airport operations from technological and operational point of view. The PRAETORIAN project is one of series of European Europe projects which we are participate, and we are very glad that in this project that we are part of the large network of the companies that share their knowledge and experience in this area of preventing and protecting physical and cyber threats, especially that security is one of the main priority at the airports. I do hope that you will enjoy today's project demonstration and that you will have a nice and pleasant day in the Zagreb airport. Thank you very much, and I give floor to Frederick.
Thank you very much, Marin. So a few words, and first to thank to Zagreb Airport for hosting us here for the PRAETORIAN project. As you know, we are involved in the security, global security for critical infrastructures, and such this airport, nice cities, and very easy for us to do our first demonstrator. So I would like to welcome to our partners and stakeholders too, but also to the European Commission representatives, mainly in remote, and also to thank our colleagues in the PRAETORIAN projects, because we are really involved in different tasks. And since now 20 months that the project started, we are here with this demonstrator showing the first results of what we do, of what is important for us, and of what is a collaboration in a European project such as this one. So thank you very much for being here. And I hope this day will be a very big day, a very good day for us and for you to see what we do in this project. Thank you very much.
Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Eva Muñoz. I am from the company ETRA, and in ETRA we are doing the technical coordination in the PRAETORIAN project, as well as supporting on the project management. Today I will present an overview of the project, as well as an introduction to the solution. That means the technology we have developed to support in the protection of the critical infrastructures. First of all, a few figures about our project. This is an European funded project. It's coordinated by EDF. We are 23 partners from different 7 countries in Europe. We have 3 pilot sites in 4 different member states, with a total budget of around 9 million euros and a total funding of 7.5 million euros. We started in June of 2021, and we will be finishing the project in September this year. At this stage, we have finished with all the developments. We start the demonstrations today, and here you have an overview of the different partners with different profiles. We have industrial partners, academia, research centers, and of course our end users in different critical infrastructures in Europe. This is the description of our strategic goal, and I will put the focus on the key ideas behind. We want to increase the security and resilience of European critical infrastructures. This is the main point here, and this is why we develop technology and innovation. Second, the purpose is to facilitate the coordinated protection of interrelated critical infrastructures. That means we don't only focus on one critical infrastructure, but we want to understand what happens in a cascading effect when something is happening in a critical infrastructure, and how to achieve that the rest are aware of that and also are able to respond. And we focus on the combination of physical and cyber threats, not only in one single domain, but in threats of different nature. With this in mind, we have some technological objectives. First of all, we want to evaluate the hazards and minimize the level of risk. So we want to understand how to achieve a successful risk assessment. We want to improve the understanding of physical and cyber threats. Of course, to improve the resilience of the critical infrastructures and to enable the coordinated response to an attack. So it is not only about detection, but also about response. And of course, we want to share with the public near these critical infrastructures information on the risks. We have also some objectives that are focusing on the impact and that are user-oriented. We want to validate in real context of the different critical infrastructures. For sure, we want to ensure compliance with legal, ethical, privacy, and societal principles. We have to analyze regulation. We need to understand ethical issues. And finally, we want to disseminate the results to relevant communities of users. We have built a stakeholders group that are aware of our activities. Today, we focus on this validation on real context of the critical infrastructures with this first demonstration activity. These are some details about our demo sites. We have 9 critical infrastructure operators, and here you have information about the 3 pilot sites. We have 1 pilot site in Spain involving AENA as an airport operator, the Fundación Valencia Port representing the Port of Valencia, 1 hospital in La Fe, and we have also first responders that are Valencia firefighters. Second, we have a pilot in France involving EDF as a power plant operator, and we have the Port of Bordeaux, and also the firefighters in Lyon as first responders. And finally, in the Croatia and Austria pilot site, we have 2 different demonstrations. Today, we have the first one involving the airport of Zagreb and a laboratory in Graz. And we will have a second demonstration involving a hydro power plant in Croatia together with a hospital in Austria. And as first responders, we have the Croatian Rescue Mountain team to participate in both pilot cases. So some information about the solution and the technology we have developed. We have developed 4 products, it means 4 different technologies in terms of systems that will become products at the end of the project to provide this coordinated and effective action towards security threats and attacks. Today, during this demo, you will hear about these 4 systems several times. We focus on the cyber situation awareness with this first product. Second, in the physical domain and the physical security, we focus with a second product, which is the physical situation awareness. We have a third product, which is the hybrid situation awareness. And here we have the combination of both worlds, the cyber and physical. And we have a last product, which is the coordinated response system. So here you have the 4 acronyms, the CSA, the PSA, the HSA, and the CR that you will hear today while we start using our tools. Going a bit more on detail of this solution and the different modules and different technologies we have in these different systems, This is a short introduction because later on there will be dedicated presentations to explain in detail these systems. But on the cyber situation awareness, we will have several modules that collect information from IT networks or different systems and that try to provide intelligence to understand about the cyber threat. We have the physical situation awareness system in which we integrate different sensors and detection systems for the physical security. For example, a system to detect drones or to detect different images and provide video analytics. This everything will be integrated in our platform. And both systems, the cyber situation awareness and the physical situation awareness, provide input to a hybrid situation awareness that will try to understand this combination of threats, to work based on the digital twin model to provide information about possible cascading effects, and everything will feed a last system, which is the coordinated response system, in which the operator will be able to decide, knowing information about incidents, and to provide a response or to launch an action. There will be a tool to provide this information to first responders and to share this information with them. There will be additional modules to communicate with social media or to collect information from social media, to launch a mitigation action, for example, in terms of drone neutralization, or to inform the population near the area with an emergency population warning system. All the information is available in the system all the time. We have an interoperability platform that is communicating everything. So the operator is able to have information on the possible cyber attack, a possible physical threat, and to know at any moment what is happening, where, and to have the possibility to decide on the response. Of course, we have different dashboards and different HMI interfaces for the operators, so the information is provided in an effective way, and that is really usable for the end user to understand what is happening and to create awareness. This is one of the main purposes in our system. Who are the end users of these tools? Of course, the critical infrastructure operators and the first responders that will be in charge of the emergency response. This is how our dashboard looks like. You have an access to the 4 different systems I have presented so far: the cyber situation awareness, the physical situation awareness system, the hybrid situation awareness systems, and the different modules in the coordinated response systems, with a main focus on the decision support system, in which all the information should be available. This is everything from my side. I hope you have now a good overview, not only of our project, but on the technologies we are going to explain today and we are going to demonstrate today in a real environment. And this is very important because we have the opportunity here at the Zagreb airport to show how our system behaves and how it can be used by the critical infrastructure operators and by the first responders to improve their procedures and their operations. And I hope this is very successful today and we are able to show everything in terms of effectiveness and usability. So thank you very much. And now we continue with the presentations of the dedicated tools. Thank you. I think we start with the CSA, correct? So it should be online.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Okay. So I'm Stefan Paul from Thales, and I will be giving you an overview of the Cyber Situation Awareness System, the CSA. I will present that in two parts. First part, I will provide you with the purpose of the CSA, and in the second part, I will give you some keys to the human-machine interface, what you will be able to see and do with the HMI. That's the main two parts that I'll be presenting. So first part, the purpose. The cybersecurity situation awareness, its main goal is to try to improve the awareness of the operator of cyber situation operation center. And it has a second goal, which is, as Eva just presented, to provide cyber security information to the hybrid situation awareness so that it is mixed with the physical situation awareness events, and that the combination of both events can be processed in the hybrid tool. In terms of features that we are providing is a limited number of features for this demonstration. As Eva mentioned, we have different pilots, and the complete features of the cyber situation tools will be developed for the French pilot, but for Zagreb Austrian pilots, we have only a limited scope. So in this scope, what you will see is generally what is covered by what is called the CM, Security Information and Event Management. So we will detect a number of events that are happening on the system, and we will bring those events to the operator. Basically, what is normally provided by a SOC, Security Operations Center, and the kind of information that is provided at this level. Our targeted main operator is the SOC engineer level 1. That means the engineer that is in charge of investigating and dealing with the security incidents. To give you a good coverage of what we are providing, I want to explain how a typical attack occurs. So normally an attacker who wants to attack critical infrastructure will have a number of steps, and the first step of that will be to look at the target, try to understand the topology, try to find vulnerabilities, and for that he will use a number of tactics like using a scanner, doing social engineering, trying to meet people, etc. Then he will try to, if he has some passwords, if he knows what kind of software you're using, what kind of vulnerabilities, he will try to make an initial compromise of that system, and then he will usually enter in the system as a normal user or with not much privileges. So he will try to gain in privileges and try to get administrator rights on the systems. Once he has administrator rights, he will try to install his own control command system on your system, so that he's able to come in and out as he wishes, and maybe even patch the software that you've been using so that no other attackers can gain access to your system. Once he's comfortably installed, he will try to explore the system, get the best way of doing what he wants to do, and possibly either do a denial of service or exfiltrate data. What is important to understand that is when he's doing those kind of actions, he will leave traces, and that those traces can be observed. So we will call those observables. Of course, most of those observables correspond to normal, legitimate actions by operators of the system. So you cannot say that each time you have an observable, there is an attack ongoing. It is maybe a legitimate user that is operating the system. So we have to work on a series of observables to be able to detect that this is being an attack or not. In more details, if we look at an ongoing attack and say that this attack is leaving some traces, then we need to have some sensors in the system that are able to observe those observables. And based on those observables, they will generate security events or alarms to the operator. And the operator decides if this event is in fact an incident or just normal operation, and that operator will decide on the course of action. Of course, those sensors are a bit tricky to develop. To that, those sensors, they need indicators of compromise to say what is existing in the system and what to observe, where to observe it, and what to do with that if that is critical or not critical. Those indicators of compromise, they are generally developed by threat analysts who know about the tactics, the techniques, the procedures that are used by the attackers. They know a lot about the threat actors. They know about the ongoing campaigns. They know what are the typical targets of those attackers. And based on those, they develop those indicators of compromise, saying, okay, you need to look at this and this and this. And this, if this kind of events happen, then yeah, raise an event for the operator to handle. So that is how it usually works in the system. Normally, those sensors are made pretty stealth, so that they cannot be seen by the attacker. Because if the attacker knows that two actions separated by less than 5 minutes is something that is found to be suspicious, then he will wait 10 minutes, and of course he will go below the radar and not be detected by the attacker. So we have to be very careful about those indicators. Okay, that's for the main purpose. I hope you understand what we are doing in terms of event detection. And the second part is what will be shown to you in terms of interface. So the main goal of the human-machine interface is to show you what are the key objects, concepts that are being manipulated behind by the security situation awareness, and to show those relations between those assets. As main concept in this tool, you will see what is called primary asset. That is what is really important for your organization. If you are producing electricity, then your main asset will be that electricity production. If you are an airport, then you want to have fluid traffic of the aircraft, for safe flights, etc., etc. So you will define a number of functions. You might define some key information, the position of the aircraft, the way the luggage is being transported, etc. You will have a number of information and functions which are key for your organization. Those primary assets, which is I call the crown jewels, and those things that are really important for you, they are supported by what we call supporting assets. That means the machines, the networks, the radars, whatever that you use to operate your systems. Those supporting assets are the ones, of course, that will be directly attacked. The attacker can try to penetrate your network and try to hack your machine, and try to steal your information in your databases. And this will give place to detections, and those detections correspond to the famous observables that have been mentioned previously. If the system thinks that these set of observations, detections are a bit key, then you will have alerts, and the tool can also try to predict what is the goal of the attacker based on those observations. So that's the first goal of the HMI, show you the objects and the relation between objects. The second goal of the interface is to allow you to give some feedback on those information and events, allow you to validate those observations, saying here, this is correct, this is well detected, or maybe the operator is aware that there is some kind of maintenance operation somewhere in the system, and that if there are very strange messages and things happening, then it's normal because there is some kind of maintenance operation. Same thing for the alerts, same thing for the target objective, the end goal of the predicted end goal of the attacker. You will be able to validate those information. You will see that there are a lot of possible ways of representing those information, up to 9 different presentations corresponding to different sets of objects and relations between objects. That is what we call queries in our HMI. So here is one example of a visualization technique which shows the detections, the alerts, and the target objectives using a Hebbian representation. So in blue here, you have the observations, okay, what is being detected by the system. And here we have a complex term which shows the supporting asset that is being attacked, okay, the HTTP server here. And we have a second piece of information in this observation, which is the technique that is being used by the attacker. For these techniques, we are using the MITRE framework to explain which is the tactics that are being used by the attacker. And then, of course, we can see the alerts based on those combination of events. We have the system decided that this is very fishy and we need to raise an alert. And we also can see the target objective goal of the attacker that is represented here. If you need more information, it's possible to click on the HMI and to get a bit more information about this. And it's also possible to validate the information that is here. So you have the screen that opens, and it's possible to say this is invalid or this is valid at different places. As I said, there are many representations that are possible. So here you have different kinds of representations, 3-map, force graph, etc. You can see, and there are many more. You will see that in this afternoon during the demos. And on the left side here, you have the different, as I said, the different queries. So I was talking about the detections, alerts, and target objectives. This is the one that has been selected, but you could show the relation between primary assets, detections, and alerts, or the relation between primary assets and supporting assets. That's all for me. If you have any questions, don't hesitate.
If not, we can continue with the next system that we have in this Praetorian project. So just a moment, I will share my screen. Do I have to share it in Teams? It's not, okay, so fine. Okay, just a second, please. I will share. Okay, oh, no, I prefer this one. Okay. So, just a brief summary of what we have in this Praetorian project. We have one system that is the Cyber Situation Awareness System called CSA. One physical system that is called in our project Physical Situation Awareness System. Both systems sends alerts, incidents, threats to another system that is above, that is the Hybrid Situation Awareness System. And then this system will correlate these threats just to know which asset can be affected by these both threats. So everything is connected with this interoperability platform that we have. So every module or system that we have are sharing the same information at the same time, in real time. And finally, this is all orchestrated with this coordination response system at the end to provide feedback to the operator, to support him, and to increase this resilience of the critical infrastructures. So I will start now describing this physical situation awareness system that we have. We have in this module or system, we have three main technological entities. First entities, one are related with the assets or resources. Within this, we have, in this case, we have sensors. That is this icon, green icon. The other one is about agents or security staff that is involved in the security of the critical infrastructure. Then we have the possibility also to integrate some innovative systems like drones. We can retrieve telemetry of these drones or robots in the critical infrastructure just to know where they are and also to stream their videos in real time. We have also in this set of assets the cameras. We are also able to stream the video of these cameras in real time. And then if something went wrong, the icon will change the color, depending on the severity or the criticality of this incident. If you click on it, you will have more information about the incident. Also, the different staff can send this information if it's if they wanted to share a thread or something. And finally, we have this red exclamation marker just to inform that something went wrong in that specific location. As before, if we click on it, we will have information about that incident. And finally, because we have this possibility in that project, we can detect drones, unauthorized drones, and to geolocate these drones and to send information about the video that was capturing this specific drone that is in a specific area or within the area of the critical infrastructure. We have also the possibility to integrate, as I said, any other robots like an underwater drone and to see the streaming of this underwater drone that is providing us information about the certain area. In this case, is about in the water. We have also the possibility to see, because we have a lot of sensors that can be integrated, not just the typical ones like presence or like smoke, fire, and so on, but also we have an innovative ones, that is the one that is just here, that is about the audio sensor, that is able to detect sounds. In this case, we can provide a sound of an explosion, a drone, screams, some keywords. So when something like that is detected by this audio sensor, this will trigger an alert. So the operator is aware that there is something wrong, or an explosion or a drone, and so on. We have also the possibility to see the measurements for just historical information about the sensor. Okay, in this picture we have temperature and humidity, but any kind of measurement can be stored. As I said, okay, we have this audio sensor. I have provided a video file for that, but let me check. We have this the possibility to check it in real. So if everything is okay, you will see a green wave. If something is detected, you will see which kind of detection we have. In this case, we have a drone that is detected. So, and same situation for the explosion. When there is an explosion, this change. Okay, the screen, the display is just for demonstration purposes. At the end, we have a device that is quite small. The second main technological entity is about video analytics and threat identification. This is related with artificial intelligence. We are able to detect abnormal behaviors, for sure, to track objects like vehicles, like persons, and so on. We are able to classify the actions of these persons. If there is a violence in the scene, we can classify it and to trigger an alert to the physical situation awareness system. Also, we are able to detect loitering. Loitering is about someone that is entering an area and is not doing something, it's staying a long time there without doing anything. So this will trigger also an alert. We will have this specific use case in that, or this is a specific showcase in this scenario. You will see it. But in another scenarios, for example, we have this violent detection. If the camera is streaming that video and the system that is behind, if it's detecting something wrong, in this case there is a fight, this will trigger an alert, and okay, this threshold is above a certain percentage and will trigger this alert. Finally, the third main technology that we have here is about drone detection. And also the system, the CUAV, has the possibility to do neutralizations. We will have in this showcase, in this script, that this scenario, we will have just detection. We will simulate the part of neutralization, and this will be explained in depth during the time slot about drone detection and neutralization. Just some main principal functionalities there that is able to detect and to geolocate the drones, multiple drones also, and this will trigger, as the previous systems and model, this will trigger alerts to inform the operator, and the video file will be attached to that incident just to let the operator to decide if it's unauthorized or not, or to do the required actions. And that's all regarding the physical situation awareness, but I will just go through that system or application. Okay, so what I wanted to show, first of all, we will go directly to the main, okay, we have here the map of Europe. So what is the operator can choose which critical infrastructure he wants to go. In that case, we have the Zagreb airport, for example, for this project, but also the Grass Hospital is involved in that project. Both critical infrastructures, as you will see in the scenario, will have some threats in their corresponding critical infrastructures. So if I go through one of them, you will see, okay, another here, another is we have integrated these 3D models, that we have the 3D models. If everything is in green, means that everything is okay. Okay, we have here a fridge temperature to record the temperature of the laboratory. This is one of the sensors that we have here. We have some cameras, but also if I go to the other scenario, that is the Zagreb airport, that this is the one here. We have multiples sensors that we have deployed here in this room. We have also integrated one of the cameras. For example, we have here the stream of this camera that is there. We have also the information about the weather, the different measurements. We have here the possibility to geolocate the staff that is here. There is a mobile phone with this application just to show it that we can geolocate this staff or this local police in the area. We have also the possibility to, we have different sensors showing us information about it. And if something is wrong, it will change their color. For example, I will manipulate this sensor that is over here. I manipulate it, so this will show me an incident. Okay, someone is manipulating the sensor, so just check it. Okay, we are informing the operator that take care, someone is moving that sensor, and okay, you can check the camera that is nearby, or to proceed to go to the specific area. And this is configured just for demo, but we can show these kind of things here in this application. Then we will have an incident in that specific sensor. Another possibility is, okay, now is returning to the previous state, but the incident is there. We have also the possibility to go through a timeline to show information over the time. So we can run this like a player. So this is right now the different measurements over the time. We have here the incident about the sensor. Okay, we can go to the specific time. Okay, he's changing his color. Something is wrong there with the sensor. If I don't close the incident, it still remains. Okay, it's showing me again. If I close this incident, at the end, we have also the possibility to show information there. It's about historical. Okay, they are doing some tests there about the drone detection. Probably that's why we are showing this information. We have okay, this will be shown during the demonstration. Then finally, what they can do is to close it. Okay, and then it returns to the previous state. Green means okay, and it will disappear. We will have the history of the incidents there, and that's all regarding the physical situation awareness system. Just a brief history about this system, about this HMI. And that's all from my side. Any question about it? If not, we can continue.
If there are no questions, then we can continue with the next component, the hybrid situation.
Tamara? Is Tamara there?
No. I think it is outside. We need a password.
I can go.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. I'm Javier from UPV. I will do this presentation of the third Praetorian main component, the Hybrid Situation Awareness System, also called HSA, in collaboration with our project partner AIT as responsible of some of the relevant components of this system. So first of all, which is the purpose of the HSA system? Well, we have to understand that in our current interdependent world, the physical space and the cyberspace cannot be understood and treated independently. Indeed, any physical event or attack can also affect the cyber domain and vice versa. So with the aim of increasing the overall cyber-physical protection of the critical infrastructures under Praetorian's protection, the project proposes the HSA system as a solution that combines the physical and the cyber situational awareness in a single, also called hybrid decision-making space, in which to reflect the cyber interdependencies, not only among physical and cyber assets, but also among those of different interconnected critical infrastructures. In that sense, the main goal of the Praetorian Hybrid Situation Awareness System is to provide to the operator of each critical infrastructure an accurate forecast of potential cyber and physical consequences at his/her facilities, given any kind of physical and cyber alert detected either by the Physical Situational Awareness System, the PSA, or by the Cyber Situational Awareness, CSA system. Those cyber and physical consequences are provided in the form of cascading effects, which are represented in a georeference, intuitive, and user-friendly manner. The information generated by the HSA system constitutes also an important input for the Praetorian coordinated response component, which will be introduced later on, and in particular to its decision support system. The main components that form the HSA system, but not the only ones, are the genetic digital twin, the GDT, the threat propagation engine, the TPE, the PSA and CSA interfaces, and the heavy situational awareness system, the HMI, which indeed are twice. We will see it later on. Well, at that point, I give now the floor to our colleague Stefan Schauer from AAT, who will introduce the first two of them.
Thank you, Javier. Welcome also from my side. So, as Javier already said, the HSA is looking not only at one of the domains, not only on the physical or the cyber domain, but it's providing a picture that includes both of these domains. And this is what we are doing with the generic digital twin. So this is a concept that we developed in the project. And as you can see, it combines on the left-hand side the cyber aspects, and on the right-hand side in green, the physical aspects that are or that can be found within an infrastructure. So for example, here you would have the check-in gates, the terminals, but also you would have the airplanes and so on, and you would have the cyber systems that are operating them. And we are bringing all that together in the digital twin representation. As you can see up here at the top, where we also built a schema of the interrelations between the physical and the cyber objects. So here, so what we have here very briefly is a dependency graph. So we have nodes that represent the critical aspects, the cyber or the physical assets in the infrastructure, and we have edges between them that represent the dependencies. So here, for example, you can see the X in the middle, and you have some Ys, which are nodes that the X node in the middle is depending on. And if there is a problem in one of the nodes here on the side, then this will also affect the operation of the node X in the middle, and continuously also the operation of the node Zs that are depending on the functioning of X. Very abstract, I know. What we have done in the project is that we have associated with each of the nodes some notion of functionality, availability, or damage. And here we have three different states. Very intuitively, using the traffic lights, we have a green state where everything is running normal. We have a yellow state where there is something happening. So for example, the functionality is reduced, the availability is interrupted. And we have a red state, which indicates there's something severe going on. Availability might not be given anymore, or the system is not working anymore. So this change of states is due to some event, maybe a cyber incident, maybe a physical attack, and this can be represented in the entire network in the state of the generic digital twin. Now, what we can do with that information is we can produce a simulation of cascading effects. So when we start with one incident that is occurring to one of the assets given in the infrastructure, then, as I said earlier, this incident changes the operational state of the asset, for example, of a computer system. The computer system shuts down maybe, and then the lacking of the service of this computer system then affects the other critical assets, the critical infrastructures in the network. For example, if the check-in terminals are down, then the check-in at the counters cannot be operated anymore. And in that context, people might be halted in the in the area, and flights might get delayed, and so on and so forth. So in this context, what we can do, and this is implemented in the threat propagation engine as part of the HSA, what we can do is simulate the cascading effects. We give an outlook what could happen. So this is not a deterministic simulation, but it is a probabilistic simulation. We are trying to look into the future to predict what could happen when some incident is taking place at one small part in the network. And from that on, we try to identify what could be affected assets in the entire part of the infrastructure. So we are usually triggered by a physical or by a cyber alert coming from either the physical situational awareness or the cyber situational awareness, which you just heard about. And then we simulate that and give that as a result to the HMI of the hybrid situational awareness. Just as a small example, here very simplified an infrastructure that you can find here in this scenario. On the right-hand side, you have the airport. On the left-hand side, you have the laboratory, which is located in Graz. You have some connections within the systems. You have some connections among the systems. And then, based on that, what we can do is start with the simulation you see, and you will also see that later on during the online demonstration. You will see how the different nodes turn from green into yellow into red, so how they are affected by the initial incident. And you would also see on a map kind of representation how this might change and affect the distant assets, the distant locations through or over time as the attack, as the demonstration continues. Okay, handing back over to you.
Thank you, Stefan. Well, let's see now the human-machine interface, the HMI of the HSA. The HMI of the HSA feeds from the results provided by the threat propagation engine. As already commented, those refer to the potential impact of a specific cyber or physical alert over a single critical infrastructure and to the interconnected ones, by mainly representing all the assets potentially affected, their interdependencies, and the estimated consequences. To do so, the HSA HMI, on its goal of enhancing the overall operator's situational awareness and helping his/her decision-making, has been conceived as a web application that uses 3D geographical representation to display the forecasted cascading effects in the form of graph-based visualizations. Additional features of the HMI include also the analysis of prior, that means cascading effects that had been received previously, like an historical list of cascading effects, the consequence timeline to show how the threat propagates, how the threat propagation evolves over the time, information filtering by critical infrastructures, the threat propagation engine configuration, the synoptic life diagram HMI, and other geographic capabilities. Anyway, the more relevant of those functionalities will be shown much more in detail during the scenario validation playout well, this afternoon. And finally, a quick overview of the system by means of some snapshots of the HMI. Beyond that, as I commented, the tool will be shown during the validation exercise. The menu configuration of the tool offers the possibility to set up different relevant aspects, such as the configuration of the default parameters of the main map, the configuration of the parameters of the simulations triggered by the TPE, and finally, but the most important one, the configuration of the connection with the interoperability platform. In other words, the communication with the PRAETORIAN platform and its main database. Why do I say that this is the most relevant configuration? Because this communication with the platform is mandatory to be set on to receive the results of the TPE. This snapshot refers to the main feature of the HMI, which is the visualization of the forecast consequences by the forecasted consequences by the TPE in the form of cascading effects, using well-known graph-based representations in which each node represents, as Stefan commented, either a cyber or physical asset of the critical infrastructure, and each link, each edge represents an interdependency between them. In the goal of increasing even more the situational awareness of the operator, we have applied size and color codes to detect at a glance the main target asset by the initial event and the degree of the estimated affectation. The HMI also permits both to filter representation by different critical infrastructures, like we can see in the top left part of the screenshot, and see how the threat propagates, evolves over the time, step by step. By clicking on each of the elements, either the nodes or the links represented in the map, the user can get all the detailed information of each one. And that information includes information such as the event that may happen over that asset, the owner of that asset, and in my opinion, the most important information, which was the current or old state and the estimated new state of that asset. The HMI of the HSA permits, as I was commenting, also to come back at any moment to simulation results related to previous alerts by accessing to the cascading effects menu, which shows the historic of all the cascading effects information that has been triggered by the TPE and received in the HMI. This cascading effect menu shows not only the detail of all the cascading effects already received, but also the detail of the main event that triggered the corresponding simulations, also the detail of the most main targeted assets, and also those of all the potentially affected assets. And finally, this slide illustrates some of the additional capabilities that, as previously commented, the HMI can also offer. Those include, for instance, geographic functionalities over the maps, such as distance calculation, definition of areas of interest in the form of creating polygons, but it also permits to switch among different map providers, look for a specific location and navigate to it, and also giving access to the management of all the loaded map layers. The HMI gives also access to the synoptic life diagram tool developed by ETRA as a complementary graph user interface oriented to the 3D modeling of the real-time status of the critical infrastructures, and will be also shown this afternoon. Well, that's all regarding the Praetorian HSA. Thank you all.
Are there any questions? Okay, questions? Then we move to the next Praetorian component, which is the coordinated response.
This is not responding. Support. Okay, so let's move to the coordinated response. So I will just give a short introduction about the tools that are integrated in the coordinated response system of the Praetorian platform, and then Juanjo and Andonis will show just a short demonstration for each one of these
these tools. So first of all, the purpose of the coordinated response is to provide orchestrated responses to ongoing incidents. And as you can see in this figure, the coordinated response receives input from all the other Praetorian components that were presented earlier, the cyber, the physical, and the hybrid situation awareness. So the first and probably the most important tool of the coordinated response is the decision support system, which is responsible for managing notifications and incidents, but also providing recommended mitigation actions to the operator of the critical infrastructure. The second one is the emergency population warning system, which is used by the operator to provide EU alerts to the cell phones of the public, of the people around the area of the incident. The information sharing with first responders, which can be used by the operator of the critical infrastructure to effectively exchange information with the first responders and the rescue teams. It also integrates tools for social media. One of these tools, for example, can be used to identify cyber threats in the social media which are of interest to the operator of the critical infrastructure and may require some immediate action. But also another tool can be used to facilitate the posting of information to the social media during an incident. And finally, the coordinated response integrates the drone neutralization tool, which can be used to address threats from drones. So first, Juanjo can show a short overview of the decision support system and the emergency population warning system.
Okay, so there's a problem, but I think okay, I think right. Okay, it's opening. Fine. Okay, just key points about this decision support system. Okay, this is the first main module on this coordination response. It's about a decision support system. Just a few principal concepts about this decision support system. We have first rules. We have this possibility to configure in that system, to configure rules just to inform. For example, one sensor has detected something. We have a lot of systems there involved in this project that sends different kind of measurements, different kinds of alarms, alerts, and so on. So we have the possibility to let the operator to configure this just to inform him about what is important. So if a drone is detected because we have this possibility, we have a drone detection system. So if there is a drone detected by this system, then create automatically an incident. This is the second main concept. It's about incident. So if a sensor is detecting a presence of someone manipulating, then create that incident automatically. If there is someone detected a violence in a camera, whatever. So the operator has the possibility of configuring these rules in order to create incidents automatically. The third one, is about events, because not everything is important. So probably a presence in a certain room is okay. So, but we can store it also in that interoperability platform, just to have information about it It's just a measurement that we have to register. So this is those are low signals. This is not informed, but it's stored. Finally, this notification, we have this notification module involved in that decision support system that is about informing the operator. We have detected a drone. We have informed the operator. We have created this incident, and then we want to notify this operator. How? We have a lot of possibilities in that decision support system. We can send it an email automatically. We can send a tweet. We can send a Telegram, a WhatsApp, whatever. The best option, it can be configured for the operator. Okay, for this, at the end, this incident will attach some, this is the last concept about this decision support system, is about the risks. So it can be also configured. So the operator can receive a list of mitigation, a mitigation list, just to know how is the procedure to be improved there, so which is the action to be done in that case. If a drone is detected, inform the authorities, also just inform the IT guys, go to the camera that is near just to check it. Okay, this can be automatically done. So you will have a rule, then an incident is created automatically, a notification is sent to the operator, and these risks are attached to that incident. Okay, as I said, there are a lot of possibilities there. We can send not just to the operator, but we can involve other systems. We can automatically send information about these incidents to other systems. In our case, we have two systems involved. We have the drone, for example, for the drone detection, we have also the drone neutralization. So this can be automatically configured just when the drone is detecting a drone that is unauthorized, then automatically create an incident, and then this notification will trigger the drone neutralization, and then the drone neutralization will automatically neutralize this drone that is flying. This is a process that can be automatically done. Okay, we can inform the operator via WhatsApp, email, another tweet, SMS, or the combination of all of them. Okay, the configuration of rules is not as simple as, okay, I have moved this sensor that is over there, and then we have triggered an alert, an incident there, and we have informed the operator. But we can combine these different systems and modules that we have. For example, if the HSA, the hybrid situation awareness, the results of these calculations is affecting one of my assets, and then we have a sensor that is triggering another information, we can combine this information to create a rule and then to notify the operator. For example, if a drone is detected in this area, but there was an explosion before, because the audio sensor is able to detect that explosion, probably the action required to neutralize this drone is not to shut down this drone because there is an explosive there. Or I don't know, but probably we need another kind of action to neutralize this drone. And that's all regarding this this decision support system. I will go now directly to the next module that we have here, that is about the emergency population warning system. Okay, I will go to that. Okay. Okay, let's move to that. Okay, this emergency population warning system is about informing the people within the area and to send information about an incident that we have directly to their phones. Is just to send messages to the population that is involved in that area and informing them through the phone. It's like quite similar to what we have with an SMS, but it's called EU alert. It's a different way. the idea is just to inform people to evacuate if there is an earthquake, if there is a terrorist attack, if there is an explosion, and so on. So the idea here is just to let the operator to configure this alert. They can choose the level of severity. They have a lot of templates just to select one, the terrorist attack, explosion, chemical leak, and so on. And then when this is created, okay, this is a map of the different points is geolocating. The population will receive that email. That EU alert to their phones, but also we have the possibility to retrieve from the phones the location of the different phones or the persons, if it's possible for if the capability is there, but it's not yet implemented at that level. But we have the possibility, and then with that location of the different phones, we can create a heat map showing us or showing to the operator the number of phones globally in this specific area, but also we can go through the different rectangles just to show where are the density of these messages that are sent to the population. And over time, this will trigger again, and we will have information in real each time we send these messages, we will retrieve that data coming from the number of phones, and we will see how it's evolving the critical infrastructure. And that's all regarding the. You will see during the scenario this tool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there any questions so far about maybe the decision support system or the WS?
Okay, I will just.
Please.
Yes.
I mean, is it mostly rule-based, or do you have some anomaly detection and stuff like that?
No,
as well?
it's just about rule-based.
Okay.
The other system I'm providing us the information. The physical one, the cyber one is providing. There are some analytics there, and then we can configure this just to trigger that incident. There is a cyber attack. This will trigger an incident. For example, the operator can configure it.
I guess that you had to make a threat model beforehand to analyze that. So do you have some published papers about the threat model?
You mean about, okay, there are, this is artificial intelligence too, no? If you have a model that is...
Not
okay.
that, but the threat model. So
The
which
threat model.
threats did you consider, and do you have something of a model that is used in risk analysis, like where you put the threats, the assets, and so on?
You are right. This part is also involved in the part of the hybrid situation awareness. So we are using this part just to fit our decision support system. But yes, you are right.
Okay,
yes.
thanks.
You are right. Okay.
All right, thank you, Juanjo. So, let me open the relevant documents. Is everything okay? So, sure.
Okay, so the next tool is about the information sharing with the first responders.
No internet.
So as you have seen so far, there is plenty of information in the Praetorian system provided either from the physical domain, from sensors, etc., and also from the cyber domain. And so the idea of this tool is to select from the Praetorian system only the information that is relevant for a particular type of first responders and for the particular type of the ongoing incident, and provide this information to the allow the operator to send this information to the first responders. And one of the capabilities of this tool is the fact that it works real time, which means that when some information is updated, in the Praetorian system, then this tool can identify this. And as you will see, this tool uses chat sessions as a communication channel for exchanging information between the operator and the first responder. So it uses this kind of bidirectional communication between the operator and the first responders.
Yes, yes.
Another capability of the tool is that it is also linked with the hybrid situation awareness, so it can receive as input the cascading effects, which means information about how an incident will evolve in the future, and provide this information to the first responders, so they will be able to make a better, let's say, decision making about how to respond to the ongoing incident. So please, Antonis.
So starting with the information sharing with a FARS tool that we have developed, as Lazarus mentioned, the point of this tool is to share, to actually gather all the available information that we have in the Praetorian interoperability platform, and out of all this information, actually discern the valuable pieces for each first responder. And this is information we have collected throughout this whole process through several questionnaires. So in that way, we allow the operator to communicate and share all the relevant information to the appropriate first responder. So perfect. This is the dashboard of our tool. Here, the operator first is called to select an incident. Unfortunately, Juanjo, can you open an incident? You just closed them. All right, so as you can imagine, when there are no incidents, there's no information to share with first responders. So yeah, as Juanjo is preparing an incident for us, let me give you a brief overview. So on the left of the screen, you can actually see a table with the main incident information. Basically, there are some pieces of information that we share with pretty much every first responder, including the type of the incident, the name of the incident, the description, and of course the location, and several other useful pieces of information. For example, which system of the aforementioned actually made this detection. And we also have several pieces of information that are specific to each first responder that is participating and is relevant to each scenario. So let's see. No? Did you actually open one? Oh, perfect, perfect. We have, yeah, this should work just fine. So as you saw, Juanjo just opened the new incident for us. You can see on the left all the main information about this incident, including which system actually detected it and the level of severity along with the location. The operator can then go ahead and send this information to the first responders. And afterwards, the operator is also called upon to make a more specific decision here by selecting the appropriate first responder. So in this scenario, the most relevant first responder, of course, is the Mountain Rescue Service of Croatia. So if we select the appropriate first responder, we get several pieces of information. You can see in this particular incident, we have a weather report, but depending on the actual incident, we also have more information, including the number of people in the area that the EPWS system generates as information, and also the cascading effect information, the predictions basically made by the HSA system for its incident. So again, here the operator can see all this information. Here we have a single update, but of course in other incidents we have multiple, and forward this information to the first responders. So once the operator is done with sending the information, all this information is forwarded to the first responders through what we call the chat tool that we use in our project. It's basically a chat platform that we have chosen basically for the ability to
allow bi-directional communication between the first responders and the critical infrastructure operators. So if we move here to the chat tool, you can actually see there are two last messages that the operator just forwarded with the badge creation that Juan opened. And of course, here the operator or the first responder, depending on who is using this tool, can then respond and notify the airport operator in our case that, yeah, this information is received, and perhaps give more updates on the ongoing situation. So that's it for the first responders, the information sharing and communication with first responders tool. So I'll just go ahead and also show you the social media tools that we have developed. So I'm going to show you two tools today. First of all, the more simple of the two that is actually utilized in this scenario is the integration with social media tool. Basically, this tool allows the operator to kind of semi-automate the process of communicating with the public and with other people through social media, through Twitter in our case. And this is done through the usage of templates. So on the left, the operator is prompted with a list of the active incidents. Again, we have just the one here. And after the operator selects it, if there is a template available, which I suppose it isn't here, yeah, the template is auto-filled with the information about the incident, which the user can then forward to the public or to the social media, to Twitter, basically. So since there is no template here, just to give you a brief look of what these templates look like. So we have types of incidents. We have the text that also has some variables that are automatically filled for the operator. And of course, the operator is free to change any template they like, create new ones, and customize it to their heart's content. Finally, the last tool I would like to show you, unfortunately, it's utilized in a different scenario, not in this one, but we have still made it available, of course, to the operators and to our partners, which is the social media security threat detection. So this is a tool that we utilize to find the cybersecurity related tweets that are perhaps very important for the use case of this tool. The way we do this actually is through a double filtering method. Basically, we have a set of keywords that are cybersecurity related and filter the global Twitter stream in order to find the tweets that are cybersecurity related. And then we have a list of CI identifiers that actually takes this list of tweets, this firstly filtered list of tweets, and actually discerns the ones that are relevant to the critical infrastructure. So we can start this tool. We can also show you an idea of these identifiers. So this is the second filtering step where we can add the names of the critical infrastructure or several services that may be of use. And finally, just a surprise message. So if I actually visit Twitter through my phone, I can make a tweet and actually show you how this works. So I am making the tweet right now. Perfect, it has been posted. So, yep, as you can see, our tool has detected this tweet straight away. We can, of course, stop it now running. And now the operator can both see this tool. Of course, we have added a disclaimer for obvious reasons. So the operator is actually prompted to visit Twitter and see particularly this specific tweet and what information it contains. And of course, since we understand that we have plenty of HMIs to offer of human-machine interfaces, this tool can also be worked without any steps by the operator. The operator can simply press the button, start it, and leave it running, and all the incidents are automatically created. That's about it.
Thank you, Adonis. Are there any questions? Any comments? Okay. So let me take a look at the online participants. No, I see no questions. So let's go to the last presentation, which is about drone detection and neutralization by Yelena.
Okay. Okay. Hello to everybody. I will be really short and quick because we are already kind of late, and it's important for flight patterns afterwards on the real demo. So my name is Jelena Levak. I'm a project manager for Renegard, for the provider of the counter UAV system for the Praetorian project. So I would go just be very quick because who are the main attackers? You will be able to get the presentation to see who are the main attackers that are bad guys, professional flying flying around the areas which should be protected, paparazzi drones, legal drones flying in wrong place due to an error. So we have several locations and environments that should be protected, which should be fixed temporary, so no locations, constant protection like this airport or a port. Then fixed temporary, which are non-locations but temporary protection. Let's just say you have some kind of football match or something like that that needs temporary protection. Then mobile, which are changing locations and have a constant protection, and high value assets, you are carrying some kind of transport over to the port or from the port or something like that. So what is the main thing that you want to know from the drone detection system is how you can detect a drone. That is a first, because preferably you need to do it as far as possible. Then how you can classify a drone, preferably as early as possible. Then track a drone, detect a drone. Does it carry a payload? Which kind of payload it is? Can you get a live footage of that drone? Can you even classify it? Or it's something bought off the shelf, or it's homemade drone? Then how to countermeasure it? Is there a countermeasure known at this point, and which countermeasure to use at that time? So these are all the definitions. What is detection, classification, what that means. So we are not going to do that now. Drone detection can be, for drone detection, you can use several types of sensors. It can be NRF detection, it can be acoustic detection, like Juanjo previously said, you hear explosion. If you have acoustic detector or sensor, you can detect it in the system. And you can have an optical detection. I have put here DroneWise portal because we use the outputs from the DroneWise in several deliverables in Project Praetorian, because it's free for first responders. So it's free for law enforcement, military, and there you can use, and then you can ask for access, and then you can go through all what is now available in the drone and counter-drone market at this point in the European Union and world. How should ideal counter UAV system look like? This is the super counter UAV system. So you have layers upon layers. You have RF scanners. You have military spec cameras. You have effector sensors. You have net guns. You have drones catching drones. You have drones catching drones with networks. You have radars, of course, which you have on all these big facilities. But the ideal counter UAV system is highly expensive and needs to have very good, scalable, and future-proof architecture. So, for as a Praetorian solution, we decided to use, and it shows the best possibility. We decided to use an optical detection module and an NRF detection module. With optical drone detection module and an NRF detection module, it gives all the kind of information and it through the sensors, and it goes send it to the integrated to the integrated command and control system. Then the operator can decide what to do about detected drone and where is it going. Once it is detected, it is tracked all the time, and then it can send some kind of response. He can respond to do nothing or to I don't know, notify somebody who is here as a physical protection to find the pilot or something like that, all to neutralize it. So at this, we decided it should be portable because a lot of pilots and demonstration sites are very diverse, and it has a different kind of access points. So some are land-based, some are near the rivers or ports. So we decided to have it in a portable van, and it consists of RF detection, as I said, and optical detection system. On the first picture, you can see an optical detection module, drone detection module, which is on a tripod. It has a pen tilt camera, and it has static camera. Static camera is only 30 degrees oriented because for the Praetorian platform, we couldn't, it will be too expensive to give it a 360, but you can always have 360, so more static cameras. Once the drone is detected with the static camera, the pan tilt zoom camera is taking it over, it is classifying it, and it is constantly tracking it, and it sends the information to the PSA HMI of Praetorian platform, and then the operator can decide what to do next with the system. So all this sensor information go on this picture. It goes on the picture number 2. It goes to the control center in the vehicle that displays what is detected and classified and constantly tracked. But if there is a second drone or a third drone or 1,000 drone, it can take up to 2 million pixels. So 2 million something flying around the facility we are trying to protect or to see what is going on. And each time tilted camera is trying to see and classify it. And what will happen? It will give the operator a picture. So on the first, there's a detection camera live output. It's in the very, very distant way, and you cannot see what kind of the drone is flying. Then on the right side, the classification camera do the classification, and the real-time classifier puts a picture. Sometimes you can even see does it carry a payload? Is that payload a bag, or it's something solid, or you can maybe see something which is a camera or something like that, and it classifies the system, and it sends the information to the system and fix it in an angular way on the map. Okay. So at that point, we have the operator through the PSA HMI Praetorian platform. Praetorian platform has the information, hey, something is flying, it is a drone, the drone is classified as a, I don't know, DJI drone carrying a payload, unidentified payload, and what should you do about it? Then there are several neutralization techniques, a lot of them, so it can be put into 2 main categories: direct energy weapons and kinetic effectors. So direct energy weapons, jamming, lasers, electromagnetic pulse, kinetic net guns, drone bait effectors, even smaller missile systems. So you have a resident drone which have a missile system that's a military grade, and then it can take it down. This is what is on the market. This is not in our system. So for Praetorian drone neutralization chain and tools, we decided to have an RF, which we cannot use because of the regulations, which are in each country different. But these are the frequencies, the jamming system output, the antennas and design. It is also portable. It's in 2 pellet cases, and it can be also bring to several other locations. So we need to consider legislation which is varying from country to country. And that is the main point, that drone neutralization should be always covered on legal basis and always have all the documentation needed for such activity. So when a drone is detected and is classified, it is constantly located and tracked. And then the operator in the PRAETORIAN platform, PSA-HMI, needs to decide what he will do. If maybe he will just avoid and notify whoever is resident security here and said, okay, please do something about this, send a vehicle or something, then locate the pilot or activate neutralization tool. If he activates neutralization tool, that tool can intercept, say return to home, say destroy. But this is all very, because in the PRAETORIAN project we have restricted documentation and some architecture is not available, but this can be showed as an example of what can be done in the neutralization, from the neutralization techniques. So intercept, return to home, and destroy. But at the end of each of these incident is investigation. So you need to investigate what in the end is happened with that drone. Maybe it will be taken over and put on a safe location near the airport, which is designated previously for that kind of activity. Then you will send your first responder to investigate that drone. So for the conclusion, portable system designed for and integrated in the PRAETORIAN platform can detect a drone up to 8 kilometers away, and it can visually, so this is an RF detector, and then visually detect from around 650 meters to 2 kilometers. So you can have a drone which is 300 kilos, 120 kilo, or off-the-shelf small drone which is 20 centimeters or something like that. Or you can have a swarm of drones. It is also possible. So it is completely mobile with batteries and its own internet. It has a point-to-point wireless network that allows us to place the optical system further away from the van as a portable system and still have access to the HMI and EPI from the van, assuming there is a line of sight and accounting for the Fresnel zone. But let me show you the pictures from from the last few days. So this is out of the van. This is the optical drone detection system. Near the van on the right corner, there's my picture over it, so you cannot see it. There is an RF detector near the van, and this is the interface that the operator will see at the end. So, as we say, and my engineers would make a laugh, this is so portable that what we need is solar panel to be completely severed from we don't need anything, solar panel and a beer fridge. That's their words. So I will not keep you anymore from the coffee break. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any question?
Oh, actually, the system after the demonstration will be in the parking lot down there. So any technical question, additional questions, you can see it and you can ask other questions.
Thank you. So if there are no questions, then we can stop for a coffee break and then be back for the scenario at 11 o'clock. 15 minutes, okay.